Chief Bream? Are there any questions for the Chief? Councilor Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Chief, thank you. I wanted to, I know our staff has been asking you all a series of questions that you all have been talking about. But we did identify a significant savings, I guess if you want to call it, of a little over $600,000 to be realized from Rescue 29. I'm just going to read this back to you here, and if you could help just to explain it. And I know our staff had a hard time with this too, but this is the answer that came back, and you're probably familiar with this, but if you'll help me to understand this. The response was, where the savings is going to be realized. The current Rescue 29 will be redeployed as Rescue 19. If Engine 29 is redeployed within the system, there will not be a budget reduction. However, if redeployment, Engine 29 will become Ladder 17, and upon completion of Station 7 will eventually become Ladder 7. If Engine 29 is not redeployed and is used to augment systemic staffing, there should be a net budget reduction of $604,000 for FY 2012. I don't understand really any of it, Chief. So if you could, if you could simplify this and help us understand where are the costs, where is the cost realization from the switch over from Rescue 29?
Mr. Chairman, Councilor Lewis, there's a bit of a story behind it. AFD is vacating Station 29. It was our intention to relocate those resources where we had service gaps, where we needed to increase emergency system redundancy and decrease responder stress because of the high call volume. Our initial plan was to move Rescue 29 to Station 19, which is Montgomery and Carlisle, and Engine 29 would be redesignated as a ladder company. Station 7 was the location for that relocation, but Station 7 is currently under construction. So in the meantime, that ladder company was going to be moved to Station 17, which is located at Coors and Sequoia. And that would cover the service gap. It was discovered that there could be some cost savings in the 13 months that truck was going, when we vacate the IGA in November 1st of 2011, Station 7 won't be built until December of 12, so there's a 13-month gap, and that's where the cost saving occurs. If that unit is not redeployed or absorbed into the system to Station 17 until 7's is built, there's a cost savings for, or a reduction in our budget for cost savings for $606,000 for the remainder of FY12. That's November 1st, actually probably January 1st through June 30th of 12. It's not that complicated.
I know you're doing the best you can.
All right, I am.
You and but it is
basically Engine 20. If Mr. Chairman, Councilor Lewis, let me try to summarize that.
Please.
Basically, Engine 29 would go out of service for a 13-month period, 6 months in 12, and an additional 6 months. It would be out of service November 1st, so 7 months of FY12 and an additional 6 months for FY13.
And I understand how this has come about, and I think it's a good thing. I think when we're really trying to build a budget around some cost savings, and it's just a little concerning, and it does need to be simplified. We need to really be able to see: are we stretching this? Is it something that we're thinking might happen, or is it a reality? And it's certainly a pretty big chunk of money that would be saved in that process there. So I appreciate you taking the time to at least explain it a little bit further.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was beginning to wonder if you were reading a little bit from, Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland there for a second or so. Chief Breen, as you know, this is a fire station that, of course, serves my district, and it serves also Commissioner Michelle Lujan's district. And we did have a discussion the other day. She wasn't aware, to be honest with you. She had not been informed that we were looking at changing out or basically giving it back to the county. It's my understanding that you just sent a letter saying that you wanted to cancel the contract, or I guess Mr. White did, and made this decision internally that you were going to do it. So, and then the last meeting because I had some concerns about it, without just basically having a discussion in the community who relies on that service. And I'm not really convinced about the methodology of the cost savings, to be honest with you. But I think more than that, we have an expectation from the community that they're going to have the service. It's going to be continuous, and it's going to be of high quality. So the last meeting, I asked a question to Mr. Rob Perry, asking about, for example, these joint uses, and we have a lot of contracts between the county, probably have no idea how many, in terms of using a joint facility use. So my question was, I wasn't party to this. We had the council or the commissioner basically had no say in whether or not this contract would continue or not. And so my question is it none of our business? Is that the way this works, or how does this work? Do we have a say? Can we say, look, we'd like you to hold off on implementing this decision until such time as we have an opportunity to discuss it, because after all, these are our constituents?
Mr. Chairman, Councilor O'Malley, let me clarify. I think there's some confusion about how this actually came about. Station 29 being the MOU and the notice that we would turn it back over to the county. I was in office for about probably just a month or two in this new position, and the county approached me. They came to me and asked me if I would come out to their offices on 2nd Street, and if we could discuss them reacquiring the Station 29 for the sole purpose of they felt that their insurance rating was being affected because they had a service gap that was created by the city taking over that station 10 years ago. And that's how the discussion started. In fact, there were 2 meetings that they called me to. And, of course, at that point, I went to the staff and said, the county's interested in taking back over that station. What do you all think? And I said, fine. That's
nice. Did you have any concern about contacting the commissioner or myself, that considering that, these are the folks that we serve and that we represent, that maybe we'd be interested in whether or not this station was going, that's a big decision, is my
Mr. Chairman and Councilor O'Malley, there wasn't going to be service affected by it because the Station 29 is in the county, and the county